So today, we understand the basics of angle measurement which we need for understanding trigonometry in detail. We are familiar with the term angle. Angle is a measure of the rotation of a given ray about its initial point. So what does this mean? Let's draw a ray OA. O is the initial point of ray OA. We rotate ray to this position. Let's call this new position of the ray as OA dash. The initial position of a ray OA is called the initial side, and the final position of a ray OA dash is called the terminal side. So OA is the initial side and OA dash is the terminal side. We can also call this initial point as the vertex. There is an angle subtended between the two rays. Notice that we rotated ray OA in the counterclockwise direction. To get ray OA dash, we can also rotate ray OA in the clockwise direction to get the terminal side as a double dash, like this. So the initial side is OA and the terminal side is OA double dash. When we go counterclockwise from the initial side to the terminal side, the angle measurement is positive, and when we go clockwise and the angle measurement is negative. So here is the angle subtended is positive and here it's negative.
And now, let's talk about degree measurements. So what is exactly a degree, or what is a degree? A degree, written as 1 degree, is the measure of an angle formed when a circle is divided into 360 equal parts. 1 degree is the angle made by 1 over 360 of a circle's circumference, as you can see in our illustration below. But why 360 degrees, or why 360 degrees? So, a full circle is divided into 360 parts to allow easy measurement of angles. Each 1 degree represents a small arc forming an angle at the center of the circle. And now let's talk about the revolution. A revolution is one complete circular turn or rotation. That's why one full turn or one revolution is equivalent to 360 degrees, and half of a revolution is equivalent to 180 degrees, and lastly, the quarter or a right angle of a revolution is equivalent to 90 degrees. Let's go even further. Let's talk about smaller units of a degree. Did you know that 1 degree is equivalent to 60 minutes? Or you can write it as 60 single quotation mark. And 1 minute is equivalent to 60 seconds or 60 double quotation mark. Like for example, convert 60.256 degrees to degrees, minutes, and seconds. So in step 1, take the whole number as degrees of this given number, which is 60 degrees. And that is our final degree. And step 2, multiply the decimal part of the given, which is 0.256 by 60 to get a minute. But where does the 60 come from? As I said earlier, 1 degree is equivalent to 60 minutes. So when you have a decimal part of a degree, you multiply it by 60 to find out how many minutes it represents. And 1 minute is equivalent to 60 seconds. If you still have a decimal part in the minutes, you again multiply it by 60 to convert that into seconds. So 0.256 multiplied by 60 is equal to 15.36 minutes. And that is our final minutes. And for lastly, our step 3, take the decimal part from 15.36 minutes, which is 0.36, and multiply it by 60 to get the seconds, which is equal to 21.6. You can also round it up to 22 seconds. And that is our final seconds. And now we already get the degree, minutes, and seconds. And for our final answer, which is 60.256 degrees, is equal to 60 degrees, 15 minutes, and 22 seconds.
Let's talk about radian. Radian is the SI unit for measuring angles. The radian is a method of measuring angles using the radius as the length of the arc. A radian equals approximately to 57.2958 degrees. The most common symbol for the radian is RAD or rad. Let's specially take a look at what a radian is. First, start with a circle and a radius. Next, take the length of the radius and place it on the circle. It is the same length as the radius but curved. Next, draw another radius and have it touch the end of the arc you just draw. You now have two radii and the length equal to the radius in a circle. So this angle is equal to 1 radian. With radian measure, the angle is measured in relation to the radius of the circle. Now, let's see why the angle measure of a radian equals approximately to 57.2958 degrees. The circumference of a circle equals the length around the circle and is equal to 360 degrees. It is also equal to 2 pi radius. Let's see how many curved radii it will take to go all the way around the circle. If you place them around the circle, it will equal just short of 6. The missing piece is 0.28 over radius, or 6.28. If you multiply 2 times pi, it also equals to 6.28. So, one full rotation equals to 360 degrees, or 2 pi radian. We can say 2 pi radians is equal to 360 degrees. If we take just a half rotation, we can divide both sides by 2. 2 radians divide 2 is equal to 360 degree divide 2. That tells us that pi radians is equal to 180 degrees, or if we isolate the radian, it will be 1 radian is equal to 180 degree over pi. We can find the measure of radian by dividing both sides by 2 pi. When you do this, it equals approximately to 57.2958 degrees. Now, if you want to convert radians to degrees, you multiply the radian by 180 degree over pi. And if you want to convert degrees to radians, you multiply the degree by pi over 180. So, there we go. The radian, another way to measure angle.
So let's proceed to the relationship between degree measure and radian. A degree is what we usually use to measure angles like 90 degrees, 180 degrees, or 360 degrees. But in math, especially in trigonometry, we also use radians. The key fact to remember is 180 degrees is equal to 1 radian. To change degrees to radians, multiply degree by radian over 180. Also, to change radians to degrees, multiply the radian by 180 over radian. For example, convert 90 degrees to radians. So, 90 times radian over 180 is equal to radian over 2. Example number 2. Convert radian to degrees. Radian times 180 over pi is equal to 180. And that's all. Thank you for watching.